Jules from the Vegan Dollar, and oh my goodness, I just finished a training run. I have like 70 minutes to make something and get myself ready to go to a party, and this is what I'm gonna do, and I think you're gonna love making this too when you're in a rush, but you want something quick, easy, cheap, and delicious that you know is gonna be a big hit with a mixed crowd, and that is creamy, delicious, yummy fudge. Who doesn't love fudge? And the other thing I love about this recipe is that it was a total accident. I was trying to make a chocolate cream pie and it used coconut milk, but I only had coconut cream. So it came out delicious, but it was so thick and rich and hearty that I had to cut it into tiny little fudge-sized pieces, and thus this fudge recipe was born. I've got this super easy, delicious fudge recipe linked below, and stay tuned later to see how much this costs. Pretty much the main two ingredients are 1 can of coconut cream. You can find this almost anywhere. This is from Trader Joe's. It's about $1.69, I think. And a bag of vegan chocolate chips. There are a bunch of different kinds. Enjoy Life. Some of the semi-sweet or dark chocolate chips that you can find in any grocery store happen to be vegan. They don't use any milk products. So they can run you $5 or $6 sometimes if they are those vegan, like allergy-free chips. But since these are your two primary ingredients, this won't break the bank to make it. So you're going to combine your coconut cream and your bag of chocolate chips, and I'm talking about just your regular 10-ounce bag of chocolate chips. Combine those and put them in the microwave for 30 seconds, give them a stir, and if it's not quite melted together yet, do it like 10 or 15 seconds and keep checking it and stirring it. It might take a minute and 15 to get it where you want it. So if you don't have a microwave or you don't want to use one, you can do this on the stovetop. Just put your chips and your coconut cream in a small saucepan and put that within a larger saucepan and fill the larger one with an inch or two of water and rest the smaller one inside, and then get that water simmering, and that'll melt your chips together slowly, because it's very easy to burn chocolate, and that's what we do not want to do no matter what method we choose. That took about 1.5 minutes altogether, but it definitely is good to stir it every 10 or 15 seconds because it can look like your chips are still really chunky, but as you stir it, they'll continue to melt, and that'll all help with preventing the burn. So then you're going to take your melted coconut cream and chocolate chips, and if you have a food processor, go ahead and pour it in that. If you don't, just put it in a bowl, and you can either take beaters with an electric mixer and mix it that way, or a whisk and whisk it by hand. That should work, but I do recommend the food processor if you've got one. So let's pour in. I still have a little bit of chocolate chunks in there, but I think it's all gonna work out once I get this going. You may be wondering why I was running around literally. It's because I heard when you move to Central Oregon, you have to sign up for at least 3 different kinds of endurance events within the first year, or they kick you out. So I am on the books to run the Bend Marathon on April 19th. So, I mean, I think this is carb loading, don't you? And that's the primary fudge right there, so easy. And we're just gonna put in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I am a purist, with vanilla, but imitation is fine. It certainly is a lot cheaper. A teaspoon of that, and then 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Dump those in. And then just a little sprinkle, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And you can skip the salt if you'd like. And then blend that all together until it's nice and silky and creamy. And then I'll give you some ideas of things you can toss in, but pretty much that's it. Oh my goodness, it's got this silky sheen to it. It smells so yummy. So you can go ahead and pour this in an 8x8 glass dish, or really any kind of dish. You could even do a pie plate if you want to write happy birthday on it later or something. I'm going to put this in a 9x13 glass dish because I want to stretch this and make a lot more. If you do 8x8, you'll get thicker slices of fudge. But if you do want to add anything else, now is the time. I am going to add a sleeve of Oreo Thins. I took a whole sleeve and I went ahead and crushed those up. They were really easy to crush. I'm gonna stir those in. You could use any kind of Oreo, or Nutter Butters are vegan, Thin Mints are vegan. You could swirl in a nut butter or a seed butter. You could put a teaspoon of instant coffee. You could do an extract like almond extract or mint extract. maybe a teaspoon or two of that, one of those, and stir that in. Walnuts would be really good in fudge. You could chop some of those up. So whatever floats your boat. This is gonna get really messy because the blade is gonna fall in, but basically I'm just taking my fudge with those mint Oreo thins and pouring it into my 9x13. You don't have to grease it or line it or anything like that. And you can probably see this is a pretty thin layer of fudge, but I'm gonna go ahead and get all that good stuff out. And then I'm gonna put this in the freezer for an hour because I got to go and I'm really hoping it'll be good to go in an hour. But you can also put this in the fridge overnight, so it's a great thing to make ahead of time. You can keep it for at least a week. This comes with a nice little lid, so if it actually lasted a week, it would be totally fine in the fridge for a week. And now the moment of truth. I've taken these out of the freezer after a little under an hour, and I think she's gonna do the trick. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these up into little bite-sized squares and head on over to the party. I'm just trying a little bite now. It is so creamy and smooth and silky. I do think you can taste a hint of coconut from that coconut cream, but it totally works, and it is not remotely overpowering. All right, they're a little messy. I think they needed a little more time in the freezer, but they taste delicious. I don't think anyone will mind that they are asymmetrical. If you like what you saw, please hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you soon. Whatever floats your fudge boat. That sounds real.